Hi, my name's Keith and I'm a minimalist collector. I was working on a decluttering project and it got completely out of hand. So this is part 2 of decluttering the crawl space and preparing for the next comic sale. Well, it's day 2 of decluttering and sorting the accumulation on the crawl space. This is definitely a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. So I've reset. I've got 3 boxes left. I think I could power through this quicker than the last video, but it's still a lot to sort through, and I'm into the box of mostly loose items. So as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to pile up a bunch of the small items and make little mystery bags. They'll all be kid appropriate, so we'll sell them off for just a couple of dollars and make a whole bunch of kids happy. These shows always have a lot of kids who are looking for simple things, and in most of these shows there's $15 pop figures that they want and can't afford. There's tons and tons of comics that are not age appropriate. It's hard for a kid to find a couple of dollar thing. They came with their allowance of just a handful of coins, and in Canada a handful of coins actually can buy you a Starbucks or something. Like, it's not like a handful of coins in other parts of the world. So we do like doing that. I like having some things that the kids can grab onto. So I'm going to try to power through this last bit, and as usual, if I find anything that's entertaining, I will specifically point that out. Speaking of which, a couple of years ago I went with a couple of friends to the Harlem Globetrotters, which was a lot of fun. It's very silly. It's I don't think it's what it once was, but these were souvenir wristbands from the Harlem Globetrotters. So I think, seeing as they just sat on a shelf for a long time and then they sat in this box for about a year, I will let them actually be used as I finish this decluttering. Well, you never know when you need a Harley Quinn whoopee cushion. That could come in handy. I have a bad feeling I've got 2 of these. This was like a mystery block kind of thing. Lots of these little items are from mystery boxes and stuff, and those are definitely things that go off to those grab bags. I've got almost a full box of the grab bag type of things now. I have a little Wonder Woman. I wish I had this on the weekend, because so many people asked me for Wonder Woman toys, figures. Certainly that movie was very successful, and I didn't actually have any Wonder Woman comics. I think I kept the only couple I ever had. So, well, someone's going to get a nice surprise, I guess. Apparently I've got a lot of rings. Green Lantern, which lights up. Still light up. A Green Lantern that at one point lit up. Legion of Superheroes flight ring, and a Red Lantern's flight ring. And this, I mean, many times I have said this as I declutter my stuff and show you some of the weird things that are going out. You don't see this every day. This is a Michael Douglas action figure. He's got the nice Michael Douglas hair. It was a set of Ant-Man mini-mates is what the name of this line was. So this is a Michael Douglas. You can recreate all of the great Michael Douglas scenes from Ant-Man, or really any Michael Douglas film from the last 10 years or so. I mean, if you want a Wall Street action figure, you could, like, it's Wall Street 2 Michael Douglas. You can play that. Like, whatever game you want to play. I wish you well when you get this in your mystery box. Alright, another t-shirt. So once again, this isn't worth going to a show. This can just be donated. And This is another easy box. Right? You can tell I didn't prep these because I never would have made these the last two boxes. They're not as interesting. So this is TV series. There are shows that I absolutely love. My favorite TV show of all time is Babylon 5. Right up there is 24 would be one of my favorites as well. So I did actually have every box set of 24. Several of them here. So without commercials, a season of 24 is 18 hours long. There were 8 complete seasons and then a couple of short seasons. So that's a long haul. And 24 is currently on Netflix. I have Lost, all 6 seasons of Lost in here. It is not currently on Netflix, but I betcha I can find a copy of Lost again. As much as I love TV shows, and it is a long, long haul to re-watch an entire series. I know people that rewatch Star Trek every few years, and honestly, I have a lot of free time, and I still can't figure out where that much free time comes from. I'm pretty good at allocating a lot of time to my entertainment, and I've been through 24 probably 3 times. The show started 15 years ago, 16 years ago now. I've been through Lost twice completely, I think. In those cases, it's, I figure a book I would reread every 5 years. Probably I would only rewatch a series every 10. I really loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I know for certain it was 10 years ago that I last watched the whole series, and or any part thereof, and I still have no real desire. It's still very fresh in my mind at 10 or 11 years since I last watched that completely. So if I imagine Lost will cycle back onto Netflix by the time I have a hankering. And these box sets take up so much space, just a ridiculous amount of space. This is a complete set of Lost. It's like a two building bricks kind of size. It's a lot of stuff. This box is almost entirely just those 2 series, with a few extra things kind of jammed in to fill space. There is a point where I start having real thoughts of, I'm middle-aged. That means, if I'm lucky, I'm halfway along the road. So in the first half of my life, I watched Lost twice. Hanging on to it for the next 40 years, 30 to 40 years, if I keep myself in good shape, so that I can watch it twice more. It doesn't hold up to any kind of logic and critique. I think you're fooling yourself if you think that there's going to be time. It's not even about assigning a value to that time. This isn't a judgment of how you spend that time. There just isn't enough. There isn't going to be enough. So it's something I think of as I go through hundreds and hundreds of movies and books, and a movie takes 2 hours and I get rid of 600. A book takes 10 or 20 hours and I got rid of hundreds of them. Where I ever thought this time was going to come from, obviously I don't know if it's denial. I don't know if it's hope. Some people, I guess, think that in my retirement, when the time frees up, I'll need to fill it with rewatching 24 on DVD. These are all released on Blu-ray, by the way, in higher definition, and they're on Netflix in higher definition. So, again, great call hanging on to those. Lost, these are also DVDs as opposed to Blu-rays. So even if I was going to watch them again, I wouldn't bother watching them in this format. We're only in a couple of, and if someone watches this a couple of years down the road, the DVDs will be 2 formats ago, and they'll be like, well, why wouldn't you watch that in 4K like a civilized person? This is good. This is a good thing. It's a good way to push myself further and remember that time is precious, and you should spend that time doing things that make you happy, enjoying art that engages you, challenges you. And if that art is something that you've seen a dozen times and it still makes you smile or laugh, then that's amazing. That's an incredibly wonderful gift. But you also have to make sure that you're not doing any of these things out of habit. You know, I hear people that say that they have a tradition of watching all of the Lord of the Rings on Boxing Day or something similar. That's not intentional. That's you of the past deciding what you're going to do with every December 26th for the rest of your life. But you always have to question, you always have to challenge yourself that you're not rewatching something so you can shut your brain off and allow yourself to just experience deja vu for 18 hours per season. I don't know what else I have to add today. Kind of rambled there. This is kind of, it's been good, but it's kind of overwhelmed as well. I've still got a half an hour of tidy up to do here probably. Then jam all this stuff back into the crawl space. Nothing in here has challenged me to rescue it from the abyss. It is all still going. It's probably done the opposite of pushed me to get rid of even more. I'm probably going to go around the room after I shut off this video and grab a few more things off the shelf and pack these boxes up tight. They are unfortunately going to go back to storage. There is a plan. You know, it's hard. They are not in perpetuity. The stuff's going, and whatever I can donate right away will get donated, because even if I think I could get a couple dollars for it in a long time, in a while, then I don't want it sitting. I want it back into the world, even if I'm just giving it away. Thanks very much for watching. This has been an interesting experience for me. It's a bit rawer than I thought it would be. It's different than decluttering things that were more utilitarian, like when I did the chest of drawers video. You know, I love books, I love movies, I love comics. My whole life they've brought me joy, a way to share with friends and loved ones, a way to escape when things were bad, a way to entertain myself for very little money when I was broke, a way to break up the day when my mind was heavy. But I don't need to have stacks and stacks of these things to do that. You know, 2 or 3 books from the library and Netflix handles that. One shelf of my all-time favorite graphic novels does that. You don't have to own everything. Just have the things that are really special. Thanks for watching. You can read my blog at ilikehelping.com, Minimalism in a Nerdy World. And I'm probably going to thin out the number of times I put up videos, so I'm not going to have a regular schedule for a little while. I want to get more writing done. I do like the decluttering videos, they're kind of fun, and it drives me to finish them. So, but that said, videos are a lot of work. They take longer to shoot than I take to write a blog, and then editing time takes 2 or 3 times as long as they took to shoot. So it is a huge commitment of time. I have so much respect for YouTubers who can keep this going on a regular basis, because it's a lot. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Apparently I have binoculars. Let's see. Are they adjustable in any way? Apparently I have terrible, terrible binoculars that are not insta-focus. So they are binoculars that only work if you're a very particular distance away from whatever you're trying to look at. You can look at many things far away, but really fuzzy. Let's just make that disappear.